run-throughs at breakfast, we kept thinking tonight we're going to get to see a couple of very good passing offenses.
And we're talking about both sides having multiple receivers that could have an impact on this game. It's not just one guy that's going to make all the plays. If you take him away, maybe number 2, number 3, they make the big plays that impact who wins the game.
Joey Sly, the kicker, stands ready. And we are underway here on EA Sports. Cameron Batson now from his end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Well, the Falcons now get to stretch their wings on offense here. And at quarterback for them is a former second overall pick who spent 4 seasons as a starter in Tennessee, Marcus Mariota.
After losing his starting job in Tennessee and playing as a backup in Las Vegas, many wondered if Marcus Mariota would get another shot to lead a team. Atlanta gave it to him this season as a bridge from Matt Ryan to the next era. Always a good runner. Don't discount Mariota as a playmaker who can win games for the Falcons. He did take Tennessee to the playoffs in his second season and gained valuable experience in Las Vegas.
They're going to start the drive here on the ground with Patterson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mariota. And that is incomplete.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Mariota. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Now a man who did his collegiate punting just a couple hours from here in Clemson in South Carolina, Bradley Pinion to kick. Back deep, Alex Erickson. Taken from just outside the 30. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Commanders trot to the field for their first possession, and it's the 7th-year quarterback out of North Dakota State leading the way. His 3rd NFL team, Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz and the Washington Commanders are hoping to provide stability for each other starting in 2022. It's the 3rd team in 3 years for Wentz and the 4th starter in 4 years for Washington. The big thing with Wentz has always been staying on the field. And last season in Indianapolis, he played a full 17 games, leading the Colts to a 9-8 record and almost into the playoffs.
And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. They'll start on the ground with Gibson. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
On 2nd down, here's Gibson again. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
They'll run with Gibson. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Over the middle, brought in by Dotson. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
On 2nd down, a run with Gibson. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Only 7 players crossed 1,000 yards rushing last season, and one of them was Gibson, who made a big jump forward in his 2nd season. Entering his 3rd campaign, he cemented himself as one of the building blocks for the Commanders.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw, it's Wentz. Target is to Dotson, and he's got him. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. Straight ahead, Gibson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 10 yards there, good for a Washington first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Into the red zone, Wentz. Escaping the pressure right. Thomas has got it, complete. And they're going to be set up now with a ball at the 13-yard line.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Let's go do this thing, baby. Let's go, y'all. Let's rock and roll, baby.
2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. Throwing is Wentz. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. From 13 yards out. And the Commanders will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Joey Sly on for the extra point. And the kick is good, and the Commanders out to a 7-0 lead. That time, a 9-play drive. And it's finished off by a Terry McLaurin touchdown. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Batson not going to risk returning it, so they'll start at the 25.
So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's Mariota. And complete to Drake London. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta.
As we watch London get that first down, it seems almost unfair about what he can do on a field. Here's a guy who's 6'4", loves to play over the rim and dunk on defenders, and can work out the slot as well as outside the numbers. That's a big reason why he went 8th overall as the first receiver taken in a loaded class.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. Bobby McCain here, the one who brings him down. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
5 yards remain on 2nd down. On 2nd down, a run with Patterson. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Already known as one of the best return men of all time, Atlanta was finally the team to unblock everything that Patterson could do for a team. The Falcons used him everywhere. Running back, receiver, returner. Even saw a couple of defensive snaps. All told, he was 6th in the league in total yards, set new career highs in both rushing and receiving, and signed a new deal to stay in Atlanta.
Play fake. Mariota. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And incomplete on the deep ball.
We know he has a lot of confidence in his arm. He likes to force it downfield, but the coverage was tight there. Fortunate that wasn't picked off.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. From the gun, Mariota. This is caught at the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, that's how you make a long drive suddenly not so long anymore. One big play, and they're already in field goal range with designs on getting more than that.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. To throw, Mariota. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls, or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mariota. Touchdown, Falcons. Kyle Pitts from 10 yards out. And the Falcons are an extra point away from drawing level.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So that was an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it was the tight end Kyle Pitts finishing it all off on the touchdown reception. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Patterson going to bring this out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. With the football changing hands here, and as this offense takes the field, Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage, while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 45 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
It's showtime, baby.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Wentz. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. Now a play fake. Wentz. To the right side and complete to Thomas. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. He was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. To throw is Wentz. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 32-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, Help is going to be a little bit late getting there, and he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
These two teams all tied after one. Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. A handoff running left is Gibson.
Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And room there to work it inside the 25. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll go again with Gibson.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
2 yards, good enough for a 1st.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz.
Complete, it's Dotson. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
This will be caught just inside the 10. And the Commanders are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
From the gun, it's Wentz.
A throw to the flat here from McKissick.
That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
Gibson will struggle to get to the line of scrimmage as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
And now 3rd and goal coming up, the loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
Line of scrimmage at the 4. Here's 3rd and goal. Now Wentz. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal.
Well, there certainly was a lot going on that play. Every option in the end zone covered. No place to go with the ball. Had to swing it out to the back. A good job running and getting him tackled in the open field.
Wentz to the sideline on 4th down. Joey Sly is out there now for the Washington field goal.
From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle.
Sly able to put this one through.
And they take the lead here now at 10-7.
So 3 points on the board. As easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
after the made field goal. Here's Sly to kick this one away. Here's Batson now, bringing it out of the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
They'll give it to Patterson. And he'll get a couple up to the 29.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle, because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Third and short yardage, Mariota. And that is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. Here comes Erickson. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially.
And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Washington's offense ready to go again. There's Antonio Gibson.
And it may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books. But it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. Wentz now on 1st down.
That one caught by the tight end Bates.
So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that will bring up 2nd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
A give up the middle to Gibson.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
67 yards for him on the ground so far tonight, as he has been terrific in this first half.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Wentz now on 1st down. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
Disrupting that play and dropping him was Arnold Ebiketie.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Now Wentz.
This pass hauled in by Dodson.
And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 37. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Now Wentz slings this deep for McLaurin, and he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Wentz going to throw.
Throw right side complete to Dotson.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain there of 21 yards.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. A handoff for Gibson.
And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. On 2nd and 7, Wentz. And Thomas has it. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. Throwing now is Wentz. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line.
And that's Grady Jarrett who forced his way through and registered the sack.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Wentz to the sideline on 4th down. Joey Sly is out there now for the Washington field goal.
This just 32 yards officially from the right hash.
Sly able to put this one through.
And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
After the made field goal, here's Sly to kick this one away. Batson not going to risk returning it, so they'll start at the 25. The Falcons back out, getting set for this next drive. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
On 1st and 10, here's Mariota. Got a man, it's Patterson, complete. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
Mariota, another completion right back to Patterson.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and now that sets up 3rd and 2. Clock running, and the Falcons moving with a sense of urgency. Mariota on 3rd and 2. And he'll complete this one to Patterson. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Mariota on 1st down. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. They'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
From just shy of midfield, Mariota. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Oh, nice defensive effort there, providing the hit as the ball got to the receiver, separates him from the catch, and normally he's a sure-handed target.
They tried the throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Now Mariota. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Now here's Bradley Pinion now.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. They decide against going for it on 4th and 1, maybe to the dismay of their offense, but hey, a nice consolation prize down inside the 5.
Nice consolation prize indeed. So maybe the offense is upset, but they showed confidence in their defense by punting it away.
Final 17 seconds of the half here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down.
They give him 16 yards there, and it's a Washington 1st down.
A gain of 16 yards. And the Commanders 1st down.
So we have come upon halftime, and it's the visiting group from Washington who are out on top.
As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcoming everyone to our downtown Orlando studios in this EA Sports Halftime Report. First up, though, let's take a look at the next-gen stats from that first half for Washington. They've had some success on the ground, and with the lead going into the second half, they'll no doubt be looking to keep it going. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football, and they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Second half about to start. The Commanders have the lead. They'll get it first as we are back underway. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Commanders up first on offense as we begin this third quarter. But Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead. Now a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the third quarter.
Yeah, believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it's really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. And in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them, too.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for first.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Got an open man, finds Gibson.
And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Wentz to throw. That's into the hands of his tight end Bates. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll bring up second down.
How about the timing on that one, where they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Working with a 2nd and 3. A run here for J.D. McKissick. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
There were early reports that had McKissick leaving the nation's capital for Buffalo this offseason, but the Commanders are certainly happy he changed his mind and came back to D.C. They've enjoyed how he complements their backfield, particularly with his work as a pass catcher.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Throwing is Wentz. This to Cole Turner. And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other. A gain of 6.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Working with a 2nd and 4. Here's a give to Gibson. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Wentz. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson.
He'll get it to the 23-yard line.
102 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Shotgun now for Wentz. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Wentz going to try and throw on 3rd.
And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown.
Curtis Samuel, 23 yards for the touchdown.
And the Commanders take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
And when the quarterback drops and has a guy that wide open in the end zone, his eyes have to get just as big as grapefruits.
Oh, without a doubt. And this is the easiest throw you're going to get, and you're going to get the benefit of a touchdown on top of it. Make that throw.
Washington will line up for the 2-point conversion.
Wentz going to look to throw. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. So they go with a pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational, and you have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Batson not going to risk returning it, so they'll start at the 25.
Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now.
They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a 3-possession game.
Beginning on the ground with Patterson.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Throwing, Mariota. He finds his man, complete. That's Patterson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
And they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
1st and 10, it's Patterson.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. To throw is Mariota. Flush to his right.
And that's caught. It's Bryan Edwards.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one covers 29 yards, first down.
Sometimes it's designed, but sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10
as they're down to the 29-yard line. Mariota now. Throw out right, taken in by Patterson. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And he's going to be stopped close to the first down marker at Washington's 12-yard line. 19-yard line. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down at about the length of the football. Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. Mariota to throw it. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. And he's going to have a Falcons first down, as that'll be a pickup of about 5 as they'll convert on 3rd and inches.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route. But he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the gun, Mariota. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Back to the ground now. Patterson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Mariota from the gun on 3rd down. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
For the Falcons field goal, a 25-yard attempt.
Koo knocks this one through the post, and that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the 3rd quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that, because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send a message that says, hey, we're not going away.
Koo just hit the field goal. Now he kicks off. Looking up into the lights, and he muffs it. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. So already not the best of kick returns there, but that penalty, that adds insult to injury and backs him up even closer to the goal line.
Yeah, not ideal field position to begin a drive, is it? Because the extra pressure now goes on the offense. They've got to get some early yards and get away from the shadow of their own goalposts. What every offense wants to do in this situation, get 2 first downs to help out with field position at the least.
Wentz.
And that's going to be incomplete.
I would describe the way that he's played today as mature. He's already moved on mentally from that incompletion, and he's more than ready to throw his next pass downfield.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Wentz now to throw. Flushed, and he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
Arnold Ebiketie able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
On 3rd down, here's Gibson.
And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Here's Tressway now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Here's Williams to return. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already.
Atlanta prepped and readied for its next possession.
And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Patterson running between the tackles. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown.
Bryan Edwards,
43 yards.
And the Falcons have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting. But I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. They're going to try and run, but he will not get in here. He's stopped up short of the goal line, and this will remain a 5-point game.
You know, sometimes the guy on the defensive side of the ball, he just has a good feeling or a good read, and he unleashed his defense on that one. Boy, they stopped him in a big way.
Yeah, I hate to be cliche, but sometimes we overanalyze. They just have more want. Looked like they had more want right there.
More want and more people to the ball.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. From his end zone, here comes Patterson. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen.
Wentz bringing the Commanders out for 1st and 10.
Just shy of the 30.
He'll set up to throw from the gun.
His throw incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. They fake the give. Now Wentz.
Over the middle, he gets it to Gibson.
And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field.
Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Washington on 3rd down.
They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Wentz.
Able to connect with Dotson. And he's going to have a Commander's 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
They will run it. It's McKissick. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
A carry for Gibson.
And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down limit.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Here's Tressway now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return.
And it will be Falcon football.
Atlanta now coming out on the field.
And you sense the tide turning. They scored, then their defense forced the punt, and now a chance to ultimately take the lead here late. First and 10 now for the Falcons, and Mariota
at their own 16. They're going to start the drive here on the ground with Patterson. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line.
41 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Mariota. That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, to watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Mariota. Pass complete to Bird out right here. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 14 yards that time for number 14.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find answers, and they've got to find them quick.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Now Mariota. Eluding the pressure right. That one complete to the former Seminole, Auden Tate. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
On play action, Mariota. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. No surprise there. Chase Young wrecks that play with a sack. Defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Now Mariota. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Mariota. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously. Led to a very quick sack.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. But Charles, they're trying to protect this lead late. Those are the types of mistakes they can afford to go without.
The last thing you want to give them is help in completing a comeback, which is exactly what that penalty does.
So 1st and 10 after a big mistake on 4th down with a penalty. Throwing is Mariota. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Chase Young, his 2nd sack of the night.
I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. To throw Mariota. Throw left side complete. That's Bird.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The decision to keep it turns out to be a good one. 11 yards in the 1st down.
Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. This one left side caught by Patterson. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Mariota yelling out the play call as he hustles everyone to get set.
Mariota.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
Montez Sweat, the man that time to fight in and drop him.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has now received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
Desperation time. Mariota on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining.
And Washington will have it on the turnover on downs.
So the defense asked to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. It doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Here's Gibson to start the drive.
And he takes this across the 15 to the 17. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Once more, Gibson.
And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave him with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
They'll run with Gibson.
And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
Washington about to close this one out as they are down to a knee.
Wentz with a kneel down, and that will be the final act of this game.
Well, you really can't ask for much more than what we just had here. Not only a close game that went down to the wire, Charles, but a clean one, too. No turnovers in this contest.
And I think you're exactly right about that. To me, this is just a pair of offenses trying to find the slightest bit of separation from each other. And they were both hoping that the other side would make the big mistake first. But today, neither side made that mistake. And what we got, a very entertaining game throughout.
Chris Bell back here with you on the broadcast. Let's get through your stats. 21-16 Washington, 299-276 offense Washington, 118-74 total rushing yards Washington, 202-181 passing yards Atlanta, 19-14 first downs Washington, 12-7 punt return yards Washington, 69-42 kick return yards Washington, 380-325 total yards Washington, no turnovers, 6 for 10 third downs Washington, 3 for 9 Atlanta, 0 for 0 fourth downs Washington, 0 for 1 Atlanta, 1 for 1 2-point conversions Washington, 0 for 1 Atlanta, 3 for 4 red zone red zone Washington, 2 for 4 Atlanta, 1 red zone touchdown apiece, 2-1 red zone field goals Washington, 2 penalties 25 yards Washington, no penalties no yards Atlanta, 22-50 to 17-10 time possession Washington. McLaurin, 13-yard pass from Wentz, 5:24 to go for Washington. Pitts, 10-yard pass from Mariota, 2:35 to go for Atlanta, 2:36 to go. Sly, 18-yard field goal, 6:50 to go in the second. And Sly, 32-yard field goal, 1:55 to go in the second for Washington. In the third quarter, Washington, Samuel, 23-yard pass from Wentz, 2-point conversion, 5:22. And Koo, 24-yard field goal, 36 seconds left. And that for Atlanta. And in the fourth quarter, Edwards, 43-yard pass from Mariota, 2-point conversion failed, 8:48 to go. That's where we stand, 21-16, your final. Okay, tomorrow's games. tomorrow's games after this break. Welcome back. Tomorrow we have the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Green Bay Packers and the Washington Commanders. Tomorrow, starting at 3 p.m. right here. Till tomorrow, I'm Sportsmaster / Chris Bell. 1, 2, 3. Have a good one, everybody.